end with what I began with, something I haven't shared. I didn't share it in my articles. I'm going to share now. When I was arrested and endured the trauma, which I'm revisiting at the moment now, as I've mentioned, in 1989, about 7 months later, or six or 7 months later, I'd embraced Islam. So in my trial and then my appeal, I was a Muslim. And as a Muslim, I entered the religion, and I didn't expect that when this incident had happened, because I found a tranquility with the acknowledgement of Tawheed. I used to be a Roman Catholic. I became a born-again Christian. I went through all the Christian things there, and I embraced Islam primarily for Tawheed and the directive of the fact that all of the prophets, the ones I believed in, Moses, Isaac, Abraham, as we called them then, when I learned that they were all upon Tawheed, and I understood the trials that they endured, that brought me to Islam. But the other thing that brought me to Islam is when I saw the diversity as well. So when I stood in that dock on the final day of my appeal, knowing that if I'd lost my appeal, that my sentence could be lengthened and I would go to jail. It wouldn't be a suspended sentence. It could be a lengthened sentence. The judge, even the prosecutors, saw a tranquility and a calmness. And they said, "Aren't you worried?" And I said, previously when I was arrested, previously when I was going through trial, yes. But my faith teaches me that my fear and my trust and my love and my hope ultimately should be in Allah. And that's why I know I'm going to be okay, whatever the outcome. Now, when the judge, when there was cross-examination taking place, the archdeacon of the church I used to be going to when I was younger, he was now in Liverpool. He'd been promoted to archdeacon. He came down to be a witness for me. And when he was being questioned in the dock, cross-examined by the prosecution, they said one thing, and his response, and I want the non-Muslims and Muslims to hear this carefully. He was there in his robe, not with his hat and everything, and they said, "Why have you come down to give a character witness reference for Anthony? Do you not know that he's become a Muslim now?" The response of the archdeacon, Nicholas Fraylin, was resounding. His face went bright red in rage. And he remonstrated, "How dare you bring religion," and that he's changed religion, "as a slight against his character. I've known this individual and I'm talking to you about his character. And I don't care if he's no longer a Christian and that he's a Muslim. How dare you bring his religion up in this way?" And the judge, I saw the judge put his pen down and he nodded and smiled at the archdeacon. And the point I want to make here is tranquility and the assuredness that Islam gave me. I already had a strong identity, but the assuredness that it gave me spiritually. Up until that point, I'd always fed myself mentally, intellectually, and physically. But there was not that spiritual feeding and nurturing properly until I came to Islam. And that final day of the trial, with a priest remonstrating on my behalf, a Muslim, in front of the judge, and the judge then saying, "I've heard the witness testimonies for this individual, and this case has been proved, and the appeal has been won. You police lied and tried to ruin and assassinate the character of this individual and destroy his career." So what I want to say to everyone here is, Islam is the way of life and the answer that I found to bring me away from the fear, anger, and mental subjugation of a society that had been doing that to my race, my ethnicity for decades. And it has the same answer for everyone from every walk of life and every background. And it's when we realize that we can start really addressing what happened to George Floyd and having the solution structurally to address it with a continuity and a persistence that only this religion, this faith, this way of life enables.